15 years ago, we made a film about children and the police, which was banned. Earlier this year, we went back to find out what had happened to them. The film, which has never been shown publicly before, was shot in Blackburn, Lancashire. The children were picked up by the police juvenile liaison department and had committed minor offences such as stealing a felt-tip pen or a cowboy suit.
Oh, this is Glenn.
This is Glenn, yeah.
Is it? Go on. Stand round here. Never mind what's going on there. Look at me. My name's Sergeant Ray. A policeman. Why should I have to come and see you? Are you going to talk to me? Are you going to talk to me? Well, listen. Either you talk to me here, or we go down to the police station. I'll wait for you to talk down there. Now, your teacher's spoken to you and told you a few days ago that if you didn't behave yourself, she would send for the police. Is that right? Is it? Well, I'm here. I'm not wearing a uniform, but I'm a policeman just the same. Now, there's certain things I want to know from you. The first thing we'll talk about is a cowboy suit. Do you know what I'm talking about, Glenn? How old are you, by the way? How old are you? 7? You're glad for 7. When are you 8? You don't know? Not long off, I believe. Anyway, let's get back to stealing. You know what I'm talking about? Where did you get the cowboy suit from? And I want the truth. From where? From a big boy. Which big boy? Does he go to this school? Does he? Well, Mr. Howard said that he's seen the big boy, and the big boy says you didn't get it from him. Well? How many times have you stolen from a shop? Once? More than once?
No.
Pardon? How many times have you stolen from a shop? More than once, is it?
I haven't stolen from a shop.
You haven't stolen anything from a shop. Where did you get the gun from?
From friends.
Pardon? From where?
Friends.
From a friend. Now, I don't think you're telling me the truth, Glenn, are you, about the cowboy suit? Are you? Are you?
Yes.
You're not.
Excuse me,
I don't
Sergeant
think so.
She did tell me his mummy brought it in.
Oh, that's a
She
different
said Father
story.
Christmas had brought it. Mummy brought it you for Christmas. Didn't you, Glenn? Now, come on, tell us, where did it come from?
Where did it come from? Now, do you want to tell me here, or shall we go down to the police station and we'll see how long it takes you to tell me there?
Come on, now, tell us where it came from. You told me Mummy had brought it, didn't you? Father Christmas had brought it and Mummy had brought it. Now, come on, tell us.
That wasn't true, was it? Was it? No. And it's not true that a big boy gave it you, is it? Is it? No. All right. Now, that's 2 stories you've told about it. You've told me one. You've told the teacher one here, haven't you? Now, 3rd time, let me have the truth. Now, try for the truth this time. Where did it come from?
Christmas.
Where?
Father Christmas.
Off Father Christmas. No, it didn't. No. You get your Father Christmas things from home, don't you? Don't you? Father Christmas leaves them at home for you. But you didn't get a cowboy suit at home this Christmas from Father Christmas, did you? No. Your mother says you didn't. So you were back to that lie again. Now, I think we'll have to go down to the police station, won't we? And see if we can get the truth there. Haven't been here before, have you? You're going to be a regular visitor? Out. Which was the one who gave you the cowboy suits? Richard. Richard. But you told them at school Father Christmas had brought it you, and that was a lie. Will it be a lie when I go and see Richard's mother and father?
No.
We better hadn't been. Because you took it from him. He'd let you play with it, because I know you. We know all about you. He had no choice, had he? You took it from him.
I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did. You frightened him into giving it you then. Didn't you?
No.
Because you have landed out when you've not got your own way in school, haven't you? You've had tantrums, lost your temper. Haven't you?
Yes.
Yes, all that's got to stop. Otherwise, you finish up in here. And the only person you can lose your temper with is you, isn't it?
Yes.
Have a good look round. Have a look round what it's like. Not very nice. Bars at the window outside there. No television, no comics, no mattress to sleep on. When you go to sleep at night, do you have a light on sometimes? Get a bit frightened in the dark? Sometimes, do you?
Yes.
Well, it was very dark in here.
When it's very dark, I do.
It was March the 14th, 1976. We naively thought we were going to change the world. The story of Glenn, the 7-year-old in the police cell, caused a blaze of publicity. If on the day Harold Wilson hadn't suddenly decided to resign and Princess Margaret announced her divorce, the story would have been the lead item on the 10 o'clock news. I was just fresh out of film school, and this was my first real film being made with a grant from the British Film Institute. Joan Churchill, the co-director from California, had never been to the north of England, and together we were foisted on Sergeant Ray and his staff at Blackburn by his superiors. Sergeant Ray was considered to be one of the most accomplished juvenile liaison officers in the force, and we followed him and his staff doggedly, day and night for 5 weeks. The first screening of the film was at the House of Commons. The Home Secretary, Roy Jenkins, set up an inquiry to look into the juvenile liaison scheme. But what in fact then happened was the police pressured the British Film Institute into banning the film. The wide public debate we had hoped for never took place because the public were never allowed to see the film. It was only this year, 15 years later, that it was agreed we should go back to Blackburn, Lancashire, to try and find the families who had taken part, to find out what had happened to them and wherever necessary to get fresh releases. Originally 9 families appeared in the film, all of whom signed release forms. But following several visits from the police, all but 2 of them changed their minds and withdrew their consents. The addresses we had were 15 years old. Only 1 family was still living at the same house. After 2 weeks of banging on doors, we decided to hire a private detective. She found that everyone was still living in Blackburn, with the exception of Glenn.
When you go to sleep at night, do you have a light on sometimes? Get a bit frightened in the dark? Sometimes, do you? Well, it was very dark in here.
Has anyone in your life managed to explain things to you in a different way that worked? Or do you feel that was the right way?
Very nice. Bars at the window outside there.
I feel that was the right way.
No comics.
What Sergeant Ray did.
No mattress.
You felt that was the right way? Was it quite helpful to you?
Yeah.
In what way?
Kept me out of trouble for a bit.
It kept you out of trouble. How did it keep you out of trouble?
I didn't go stealing for a bit.
Have you kept out of trouble till now?
Yeah.
What are you doing now, Glenn?
What, working? Work-wise? At Safeway.
At Safeway?
Shelf one.
A shelf?
Filler.
A shelf filler? Glenn is the only one to have moved away from Blackburn. He's been living in London for the last 2 years and works as a shelf filler in Safeway from 8 at night to 6 in the morning. He says he likes working nights because the time goes quicker, and he hopes to be made a foreman in the next year or two.
Hello?
Oh, hello, is that Mrs. Tolley?
Yes?
Is that Sally Tolley?
Who?
Sally Tolley, are you West Indian?
No, no.
You're sure you're...
No, I know who I'm. You must have the wrong number.
Okay, sorry, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have you heard of a Sally Tolley?
No.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Hello?
Is that Mrs. Tolley?
No, you've got the wrong number.
And there's no Tolley who lives there?
No, sorry.
A West
Is it
Indian...
Blackburn? Is it Blackburn?
Yes, a West Indian lady.
Oh, no, sorry, there's nobody around here, West Indian. Hello?
Oh, hello, is that Mrs. Tolley?
Yes?
Is your Christian name Sally Tolley?
No, Clara.
Clara. Sally Tolley's son Mark and his mate Russell were picked up by policewoman Lillian Brooks for truanting 15 years ago.
Why are you not at school? Speaking to you. Why are you not at school? Come on, come on. I'm a policewoman. Where have you been all day? It's all right. Coming with me. And don't try running away when we go outside, right? Right, come on. Have you stolen anything?
No.
Come on. Were you at school on Friday? Come on, the truth. You know what can happen if you don't go to school. Which school are you at? Were you at school last Thursday?
Including the German Chancellor, Herr Schmidt. You're not believing these that he's been stealing, have you? These tell more lies than anybody else.
Obviously, I saw him in Woolworths.
Well, I walked through Woolworths loads of times and seen kids that bit. You don't go down, oh, I bet he's knocking stuff off. I bet he's knocking stuff off. I bet he's knocking stuff off.
I just said to your mother when I came in, I saw your son in Woolworths.
And we thought,
he's shoplifting.
You mentioned shoplifting.
I didn't mention it to your mother.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say he had been shoplifting.
No, you didn't say that. You said you thought that he might have been shoplifting.
I didn't
No, she
say
didn't.
that.
No,
at
she
all.
said. No, she said.
I didn't.
It could have been shoplifting.
Well,
Temptation was there.
Temptation's there for everybody, isn't it?
Which yeah, well, that's what you mean.
Just because he's a kid,
Yeah, I
we're
know,
walking around,
but
don't mean
that's
that
what
he's got
they
to
mean.
take it.
Temptation is for any child, isn't it?
It's so for the police as well, isn't it? Look
Oh,
how
yes,
many's up here every day,
Well,
police.
this is temptation.
temptation for everybody. So I stopped him before he was tempted. And brought him out.
I mean,
in that case, you best go down to Woolworths tomorrow and take everybody else in case they pinch something.
I think, really, if your mother's any axe to grind or any, you know, row to have with me, I think it's your mother's place, not yours. If your mother feels...
You said that you seen him in there, and you thought he might have been pinching. The temptation's there, so you took him out. So you best go down to Woolworths and every other store and take everybody out. Because everybody could be pinching. There's got to be no left in store tomorrow.
First of all, just calm down a minute, will you?
If he gets irritated like me, Mum.
Why no, she's gone stealing tomorrow.
He gets irritated.
It wasn't, I'm just, you know, a bit angry at that, Sally. It wasn't done in that vein. It was done because he was truanting.
We jumped up.
And, precisely.
I should have waited first to listen.
Anyhow, it's all sorted out
but
now.
But you see, I can't help it. As soon as I saw the police, as soon as I saw your face through that window, well, that way.
We eventually found Sally Tolley completely by chance through a minicab driver whose wife had had an affair with one of Sally's sons. He said she was living on this estate on the edge of town. Sally, though, had already heard we were back.
Oh, hello, it's you again, is it? I got in a lot of trouble last time.
What?
I got in a lot of trouble with police last time when you about it being on television.
Why had the police seen you recently about it?
No, when you come about 15 years ago.
Well, you recognise us that quick?
Yeah.
You mean we haven't changed that much?
No, you haven't changed all that. Well, you haven't. She has.
Oh, really? She's aged a lot more than I have.
No, you haven't changed. I recognised you, but I would have recognised it last time.
The police came?
And the police came about 3 times. I'm sorry, I'm half asleep. Police came about 3 times to work, and then they came back to my door about twice. And they wanted me to take it off television, and I wouldn't do.
They wanted you to what?
They wanted me to take my name off the signature, off the paper, like, you know, so it wouldn't on television.
You mean the release form?
They didn't want the film to go on.
Sally originally signed a release form giving us permission to include her in the film. Then, when the film was finished, the police called on her on 5 separate occasions to encourage her to withdraw her consent. Sally told us that her son Mark is now married and works the night shift at the local carpet factory. Mark drinks at the same pub as Russell, his accomplice at Woolworths, and arranged for us to meet at Russell's new council house on this estate. Russell, who is well known locally for his exploits, specializes in breaking into factories and was currently up on 12 charges of burglary with the possibility of another prison sentence.
What have you two been doing with yourself since we met 15 years ago in Woolworths? You were just caught for truanting then, weren't you, in Woolworths? You hadn't actually done anything.
At the time.
What have you both been up to since then?
Well, me, not all that much, but Russell, he seems he's done a lot more than what I've done. I used to think I'd never been in prison really, like, but been in lots of trouble once over. I thought he had, but it seems like he's gone worse than I did. I've not been too bad since I've been married. Lived with my wife for 4 years before we got married, so...
But what about you, Russell?
I was doing all right. I had a job up to being 21. I got my first sentence for driving while banned. Since then, I got out of prison. I couldn't get a job, nowhere, for having a record. Then I got into the drug scene. A few burglaries. Burglaries I enjoy. I do enjoy.
You enjoy doing burglaries?
I do, yeah, I do. I do. I like it. You're in the place. And it's yours. For it shut at night, it's yours. It's your factory. Do what you want with it. Take what you want, steal what you want. I don't do it for the money. I just enjoy it. Well, I do it for the money as well. But I still enjoy it.
Do you think anyone could have helped you?
Helped? Oh, I don't know. Psychiatrists tried. Parents tried. Good parents tried. No. I can't even help myself. No, beyond help, I think. Beyond help.
5, 6, 1, 2. How many in the packet?
20.
20.
Me and my sister shared them, you see. And when I took them out, my pencil case has no zip. When I do my homework, my sister takes them, my sister's. And they use them
when
I do my homework.
Yeah.
And
So if I see your sister, she will tell me that you bought packets of felt tip pens from Boots.
Yes.
And that she shared them with you.
Yeah, when...
Do we have to send for her to ask her?
Yes.
All right. You've told lies in the past, haven't you, Rashida?
Yes.
Haven't you? Is there any reason why I shouldn't suspect now that you're telling lies?
I'm not telling lies for them.
Well, if this thing is investigated properly and we go through it properly, and we find out that you have been responsible for some of this stealing in this school, the matter will end differently. Now, when I'm giving you the opportunity now to say something to me, if you know anything about these thefts and if you're responsible, because once I've left this school and not established that, and we send the CID in to make full inquiries, you will be locked up, is that clear?
Yes.
You're responsible. Now, you've the choice now,
Whilst
I'm here, to tell me whether or not you have stolen anything from the bags. Because if we find out later that you have, you'll be dealt with entirely differently. It'll be more serious. You'll be taken out to the police station and kept there. Is that clear?
I knew this school's a secondary school, and if
You knew what?
This school's a secondary school,
Yeah.
and if I take something, it'll be very seriously. And so I didn't take anything from this school, and then the other day, someone took my things, and my friends.
Right, are the other two girls outside?
Yes.
Will you go out? You go out and wait and send them both in here, will you?
Yes.
She's known as being a hard case, this one. She's a liar, as we found out before. Come in. Oh, you two girls have lost stuff out of your bags, haven't you? What have you lost out of yours?
8.5 pence first, an apple, and then this week an apple and a pen.
And she was supposed to be looking after it, yet something went.
Yeah, I remember.
Now, when she was looking after it, perhaps you'll not know this, but I'll ask you anyway. When she's looking after it, does she have the bag alongside her? Does she keep it with her bag?
Well, if she sat on a chair, she puts her foot on it.
I see.
So she's looking after it.
Yeah.
So no one else can go near
So
it.
nobody else then, while she's doing that, could go in and take something out, could they?
No, I don't think so.
No. Unless she did it.
Yeah. I don't think she would do, though, because she's my best friend, Rashida.
Oh. But during that time, you once 18 pence missing. Was it 18 pence, did you say?
8.5.
8.5 pence. While she had a foot on it.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's strange? That while she had a foot on it, 8.5 pence disappears from your bag.
No, that was when we all left the bags together.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well,
That was my apple when she had a foot on it. My apple.
just an apple and nothing else.
Yeah, and we all three of us went to the sandwich room, didn't we? And Mrs. Lee took us for geography, then in English, I noticed that my apple had been missing. You know, I was looking in my bag for my pencil case. I thought, hey, I had an apple for my lunch. And I was looking for it, and it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then we went into the sandwich room at dinner time. Rashida had an apple exactly like it. I thought, I wonder whether that was it, because it was exactly the same as what I had, because I remember it had a brown mark on.
And she was eating that?
Yeah, and it was just like it. And then I found the apple core in my bag. I found an old apple core in my bag. Yeah. At the bottom of my bag. And I hadn't eaten
Okay.
it.
Right, thanks very much. Will you go and wait outside and ask Rashida to come back in, please?
Yeah.
What's that English girl called?
Julie.
Julie? Yeah. You look after a bag for her, don't you, sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. One day you were looking after a bag. How do you look after it? Do you put your foot on it or something?
My foot on it.
Yeah, yeah. When you look at it, it's alongside you or on the floor, and it's very close to you.
Yeah, you know, 2 desks, and it's on the other side round, and I'm near the window.
And sometimes you put your foot on it, she says, when you're looking after it, so nobody can get hold of it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. A few days ago, she had an apple in that bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it went missing after you'd been looking after her bag.
Yeah, it was, you know, I was
And
round.
then at lunchtime, you were seen eating an apple.
Yeah, that was mine. I brought from home.
You brought from home?
Yeah.
Do you bring apples from home as well?
Yeah, because you see, I never brought dinner tickets, so I had sandwiches, you see.
Oh, we're changing again now. I thought you always brought dinner tickets.
Yeah. I brought dinner tickets sometimes.
But just that day, that one day, you brought an apple, which happened to be a coincidence, the day that she brought an apple as well. And then the apple core finished up back in her bag.
I don't know.
She had an apple core in, you know. Shortly after she missed it, you were seen eating an apple, right?
Yeah.
You say that you had an apple that day from home, which I don't believe, really. I don't think so. I think you had that apple out of that bag. Now, come off it. Don't start sliding again. I've had it enough before with you telling lies. You told lies to Mrs. Brooks the last time you were in, weren't you? You did tell lies, and you told lies to your father. And I think you're telling lies about that apple. I think you had that apple out of that bag, that you ate it, and that you threw the core, all right, it went in, or you deliberately put the core back in the bag. And on another occasion, when you were looking after the bag, something went out of it. While she was away in science and you were looking after it, something disappeared out of that bag. No. How come that something goes missing on the occasions when you're looking after that bag?
She has to go down to Lorraine, you see, to do science with her, so Mr., you know, our science teacher said that 4 had to be in a group, so I went round with Julie as well, the same time she went round.
I'm not satisfied at all. Not satisfied at all. No, I'm telling you this. Pardon? I'm telling you this. If I don't get the truth from you this morning, because I think you did have that apple, an apple's neither here nor there, but there's other things gone as well. And I say I'm not entirely satisfied at all with what you told me this morning, because we've had experience with you before. You are quite capable of telling lies, convincing lies, aren't you? Aren't you?
My little sister, my little sister and her friend, I'd give them money with my sandwiches that go get me an apple and an orange from the shop because I never went. So they brought an apple and an orange for me the same day, and that same day I even had an orange.
I think you had that apple out of that bag, and I think you ate it out of her bag.
No, I brought me apple all honest. I brought it from that girl's shop, that Indian girl sitting outside.
Right. You go. Take your bag. Right, you can all go back. It's all right. She won't have it at all.
No.
I've tackled her, you know, and tried to trip her up. But she won't break at all. The only thing is, I don't know, we can only set a trap, that's all.
see Rashida.
Right, do you want her in?
What's the ass? We'll have words with her. Dear little thing. Come here, Rashida. Put your bag down. Let me have a look at your hands, first of all. Where did all this green come from?
So I touched the sexual sand and in the person inside, so it touched green stuff inside and went on my hands.
Went on your hands, so you were stealing, were you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How often have you been stealing before?
So many times, sir.
Many times?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What have you taken?
So pencils and money, sir.
And all these?
Not all of them.
Some of those pens?
Yes, some of them.
Some of them? Why didn't you tell Sergeant Ray this yesterday?
I was frightened that yesterday morning.
Why? What you were afraid of? Don't you know?
No.
Are you afraid of your dad? Yes. Why? Or were you afraid of your dad? What's going to happen?
He shot at me.
Hello, is your mother in? Is your mother or father in?
Yes, father.
Yeah, I'm a policewoman. Can I?
No, she's agree now.
Pardon?
She's agree. He do it. She's agree.
Oh yes, oh no.
She's
denied, yes,
agreed.
she's-
Agreed. Yes.
Agrees.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
She's now told the truth.
I with you. You take it her and put in jail. I don't like any.
No, she told lies. She was very naughty. She told lies.
I tell that Mr. That before is my son is they take it some toffees, some house.
Yes.
Sergeant come here.
Yes.
I said take it.
Yeah.
And put in jail. I don't like that son.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like.
I've told her father. I've told her father will probably punish her for stealing and for telling lies.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. You come my home, is it?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. But it's a shock.
Oh, obviously a shock. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my,
you know, put me onto a good cause.
in my religion, in my family, the first chance. In my families, first chance.
Yeah.
You know, my father in British Army, my grandfather is British Army. I am as a soldier in the army.
Yeah.
First chance, my family first chance.
Yeah.
I don't like the life. And anytime I said child, oh, peace.
You see, obviously she told lies. She told me the truth originally.
Excuse me.
And then she told lies because she was afraid. Obviously, because she knew you would be very angry.
Oh.
Rashida did not want to be interviewed when we called on her. She is now a wife and mother, and she explained her husband, a devout Muslim newly arrived from Pakistan, would not approve of her being filmed. Rashida still lives in the same street and house that she grew up in the heart of the Muslim community in Blackburn. 2 years ago, Rashida married a man she had never met before by a pre-arranged marriage. Her husband, who lived in Lahore, Pakistan, flew to Blackburn and now lives with Rashida's family. Prior to her marriage, Rashida continued to be in trouble and was involved in a number of court appearances. Most of the time it rained in Blackburn, just as it had 15 years ago. Only this time it felt odd visiting old haunts and not seeing the people we'd spent the most time with before, Sergeant Ray and Lillian Brooks. A kind of loyalty had built up during the filming, and we wondered how the police inquiry had affected them.
Yes, hello. Is that Blackburn Police?
Yes.
My name is Joan Churchill. I'm looking for policewoman Lillian Brooks.
She's no longer working for her.
Ah, really? When did she stop?
She retired, it's not that long ago, within the last few months.
Uh-huh. Okay, great. Well, then I'll ring
all
again.
I can say is she definitely lives in Blackburn, but I just can't remember where.
Okay. This way, that's toilets.
Oh, okay.
Brand new pair of gloves.
Yeah, I'm brand new.
Never used. With a little bit of string that used to tie them together like that. Girls. Where did these come from? They're lifted, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where from?
Woolworths.
From Woolworths. Is that from Woolworths? While we're at it,
No.
come on.
Honest, you didn't.
Let's get to the bottom of it.
You didn't.
Say if I'm not satisfied, then I'll pass you over to
You didn't even
CID.
sell them in Woolworths.
So you lifted these this morning from Woolworths?
Yeah.
Right.
Co-op.
This morning?
Yeah.
Co-op.
2, and he's got 2. He's got 1, he gave 1 to her.
Yeah, I'm going through his pockets, you see. This here is your gear, right?
I bought that bag.
Yeah. I'm not bothered about the bag, I'm bothered about the school clothes in here. What have you have done is left home this morning, dressed in these, correct? With that gear inside there. When you've got outside, you've changed out of your school pants and your school jumper and stuffed them in the bag. Then before you go home tonight, you'll change back into those again, won't you? So that your mum and dad think you've been to school. Correct? Yeah. And as usual, while you're out truanting, as it always follows, you get into trouble. You were in Boots this morning, shouting about how much does a store detective get, right? Yeah, I can believe it. It's silly enough, aren't you? Then you go wandering around Woolworths, knocking this sort of stuff off, and in the co-op. Hello, Mrs. Clay. All right. They've explained what's going on, have they? Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Michael. Long time since I saw you, isn't it?
He's wearing his clothes. He's coming.
Then it's no use me telling you and then I'm to tell him all over again, is it? You might as well listen to what's going on. So this is all the stuff, you know, they picked up here.
Yeah.
Your mum and dad didn't know you weren't in school yesterday afternoon, did they? They didn't know you were out of school last Wednesday and other occasions. And they didn't know, as I said to you this morning, that you're out this morning and getting involved in shoplifting. Right? And the rings that you stole last week.
Now, before I'll belt you.
And those...
Stand up and look at it.
You were there when these were stolen by Hargreaves, weren't you? Because this isn't the first time. And strictly speaking, I should have handed you over to the CID. But for the other's sake, as well as yours, and also for your mother and father's sake, I've left it at this, between me, the school, and your parents. As I've always said, truancy always leads to something else. You daren't go home, you're not at school, so you have to go to find somewhere to go, and it's nice and warm and dry in the shopping precinct, isn't it? The thing is this.
Well, you think twice about doing it again.
That now they're going to tighten up on truancy. Everybody's got fed up of it. Headmasters, teachers, the police, parents.
What do you say now? Yes.
Well, I'll tell you the way you can thank me. By not truanting and not doing this. And not getting to lumber. All right.
Come here, Bernard. Come here. Come on. Bernard! Come down now, and I'll come up and I'll belt you. Now come down and don't walk away when I'm talking to you again. Now get back in there. Now get in. Don't come here! Get up there. Don't walk away from me. Get in. Get them hands out of your pockets, or I'll have your way now. Turn out. Turn round. Now just cut it out. Come here, turn it. Come here. Come on. Turn it.
You were a vicious devil, weren't you?
Now come down and don't walk away when I'm talking. Right. Now get back in. Now get in. Come here. Turn it, get them arms out, you fucker. And I'll have your way now. Turn around.
I'll have your way.
Turn round.
Mean devil, we were awful. Shocking.
I'm telling you now, I have never, ever been so embarrassed in my life. Never. And I hope that when this goes on telly, I have no recognition with this family whatsoever. That was disgusting. It really was. That's
Why?
what we're all
You
on.
weren't
Don't
born.
ever, don't say that you're my brother.
You weren't even born, sunshine.
I'm not. Just don't say you're out to do with me. No way.
Well, we're on the subject. We're on the subject.
Shut up, Ross, mate.
I once got beat so bad.
Well, you after, lad?
That I had to be bathed.
What's his nap?
Had to be 32 bruises on my body. Is that true? Is that true? Come on.
Is that true?
Of course it's true. 32 bruises on my body at 13.
Now, you mentioned you went to care about 4 years after we filmed you.
Well, 13 I were. 13 I went to go till I were 16, 17.
16.
Well, I were only at school first year and halfway
2
through.
years?
Well, halfway through second year.
Why were you put into care?
Because he got into trouble.
Because she put me in.
I didn't know that was true. You don't just put people in. No, he got into
No,
trouble.
I got out of order.
What kind of trouble was that?
Tea leaving and... Well, whatever. Tea leaving and not going to school, that were it. That were the main thing, weren't it? And not coming home for days and days and stuff like that.
Out of control, really.
Parental control. No, but that were it. Well, that's what it were about, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
What kind of thieving?
Well, no. Not heavy, like. Just shoplifting, weren't it? And stuff like that.
His main thing, he wouldn't go to school. He wouldn't go to school.
Because I didn't like it.
And he didn't like school. Yeah, but the law says you've got to go to school. And if your parents can't get you to go to school, then somebody else will have to get you, you know. You'll have to go to school while you're 16.
So,
Mostly when you were young.
yeah. Well, when I was younger. Now I'm all right.
Have you had any recent trouble?
Yeah.
What was that for?
I'm paying a fine for it now, aren't I? What am I paying fine for? Deception. Fraud and deception. No, I won't. Deception. No. Fraud and deception. But that's about all.
Who are you deceiving?
social security and card, check card, like.
Bernard has 3 children aged 10, 6 and 3 with Julie, his common-law wife. Julie and the kids live at Julie's mum's house, while Bernard still hangs out at his family's place on this housing estate. Bernard's parents had originally given us permission to use the film on television, but they withdrew their consent after several visits from the police, who arranged a special screening of the film at the Blackburn Public Library.
When we came out, they had a buffet at this place where we went to see the film, and the liaison officer, this lady, she were waiting outside, wasn't she? And when we came out, she asked us what we thought of the film, and we said to her, I can remember saying to her, well, I don't know what all that fuss is about, because there was nothing in there that we would have minded being shown anyway. And I think most of the other parents that were there didn't think so badly about it. But she did say, well, you won't want that to be shown on television. And I said, we're not bothered, really. They can show it. Not that bothered. She said, oh, well, the police definitely do not want it to be shown on television or on films, but she didn't mention television. No, she didn't mention television. She said, we don't want it to be shown to anybody at all. And that's, didn't she?
Yeah.
She said, that's why we've been coming up to see you, because when we knew that when you saw the film, you'd understand why. But we didn't have the same opinion as her.
Did you feel they pressured you a bit?
Yeah, yeah. I think other people thought the same way, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were adamant that they didn't want it showing and made it clear, well, you know, if you read between the lines, that were it. They make it awkward for us.
Mm. And then the next thing we heard were about Sergeant Ray. Going up to, well, whether he got sacked, retired or whatever. So the rumours, some say he got sacked, some say he got, I took early retirement. I wasn't working at Blackgate School. I don't know, but this is the stories that were going around.
What was he doing at Blackgate School?
Just on selling dinner tickets to children, you know, for the dinners.
We had tried to get in touch with Sergeant Ray at the time of the inquiry, but relations became strained and we didn't get very far. One of our concerns was what we thought was going to be a public inquiry had turned out to be an internal police inquiry, which, judging from our interviews, only dealt with certain specific allegations brought against Sergeant Ray. The whole exercise seemed futile to us. Sergeant Ray was regarded as the most accomplished juvenile liaison officer in the department, who certainly only practiced the standard and accepted ways of doing things.
Police, good morning.
Hello, is that the Preston Police?
Yes.
Hello, could I speak to your juvenile liaison department?
Yes, Haley. Ringing.
Hello?
Hello, my name's Nick Broomfield, and I'm actually looking for Sergeant Ray.
Yeah, could I just interrupt you? Sergeant Ray retired from the police force quite a few number of years ago to work at Blackburn, and he's now retired from the police force.
Why did he retire?
Because of age.
Uh-huh. Do you know where he lives?
No idea. No idea.
Olwen, who works as a lifeguard at the community centre, says she sees policewoman Lillian Brooks a couple of times a week and will put us in touch. Originally, Olwen was arrested by Lillian for shoplifting 15 years ago.
Hello. You've given this gentleman a wrong name and a wrong address, haven't you? What's the big idea, Olwen? Is it right what this man says, what you've done? Oh. So she's given you a false name and address, as it is?
Correct.
Your mother and father be in? Your mum will? She's not going to be pleased at all, is she? Hey?
She were a bitch, weren't she? Mrs. Brooks.
Here. Now then, you tell your mother first what you did. Tell her what you nicked, as you say.
Right. And some nipple. And some ripple.
Why did you do it? Don't say, I don't want that answer, I don't know. I want an answer. Why did you do it?
Felt like it.
You felt like it?
Can't think of how else.
Don't speak to me like that, Olwyn. You've been given a chance already, haven't you? Only a couple of days ago. And what do? You let yourself down, you let me down, and your mother and dad. How do you think they feel? Hey?
I know how I feel. I feel just like walking out.
How do you think your mother feels? Your father's away at court because of Paul, having to go to court because of your brother. And then I come to tell your mum what you've been doing.
You sent for you?
The store. You know, if any shoplifters had picked up, they ring us.
Do you think Mrs. Brooks helped you?
Yeah. Yeah, especially after saying that now.
Even though you think she's a bitch?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I think she'll appreciate me saying it now.
How do you think she helped?
I think she must have put the fear of God in me. She must have done.
Do you like your mum and dad?
Like me mum.
What's to do with your dad? Why do you not like your dad?
I like him sometimes.
Well, what about times you don't like him?
Because he always nags on.
Why does he nag on? Is she right?
She's right.
What does he nag at and natter at Olwyn about?
Well, and it all depends what mood you catch him in. I mean, sometimes she'll be walking out, she'll come past, and he'll dig her. But if he's walking past her, he'll do that with her. Now, sometimes she'll do it to him. Sometimes he'll laugh at it, and sometimes, like he did the other day, he'll turn around and jump on it. All right, you can't describe him as got sort of a cold all his own.
Saying you don't like your dad, that's no excuse, is it? Hey? If you really love your mother, which I think you do, don't you? Why do this and bring disgrace? What do you say to your mum?
Sorry.
Where's your dad now?
He's still with my mum. I know, I think they need each other now. My dad's asthmatic. My mum's, what's wrong with her? I think it's anybody's guess.
No, rheumatoid arthritis.
You know, she slips in and out at wheelchair. You know, one day she'll be walking up and down, the next she'll be in wheelchair. My dad's there pushing her up and down, getting breathless. It's quite a comedy scene, really.
Owen.
Yeah.
Does it surprise you this altogether?
No, because, like I said, they were 1 week they were getting divorced, the next week they were all lovey-dovey. You just didn't know where you were with them. It used to drive me up the wall.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Is Lillian there, please?
Yes, who's speaking, please?
It's Joan Churchill.
Sorry?
Joan Churchill. Lillian.
Yes.
Hi, it's Joan Churchill. Do you remember me? Lillian did remember me. I asked her how she was. She said she was fine. I told her that we had returned to Blackburn to do an update of the film we had made 15 years ago about the juvenile liaison scheme. We saw Olwyn and filmed her. She said she sees you every week at the centre. And we wondered if we could come and talk to you. Lillian wasn't too keen on the idea. She said that it wouldn't really be convenient. I asked her if she had seen the film, which she had, and what kind of effect she thought it had had on Sergeant Ray. She told me that she really couldn't make any comment on that. I then asked her about herself, and she told me she had continued to work in the Police Juvenile Liaison Office for another 14 years, and she had only just retired this year. She then rang off, saying that she would get back in touch in a couple of days.
G, E, O, R, G, E.
That's smashing, right? And so all that together makes up...
George.
Right, and what about the next one?
George is now 30 and attends special classes at the Blackburn Community College. When we first met him, he was living with his mother and aunt and 10 brothers and sisters.
Where's your mum?
His mum, the mother, no, she's at work. There's only climbing, so
Oh, fun. Do you mind if they come in again with
no.
me? So.
And then after I want to speak to you, sir.
Is he... Was it you? Yeah.
And the auntie.
Where is he now?
Who?
George.
He's upstairs. I want to speak to you, sir.
Yeah, right, all right.
Because he's done this.
He's done that?
He's done that. And he hit me with my head 12 times just last night, so. He's upstairs. And they want him to have his hair cut. And he won't, but the other lad is having theirs done.
As a result of this, have you bandaged that up? Or did you have to...
No, I did it till last night.
Yeah.
But it's all paining. But when they come home, I'm going to see what's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
Go to the hospital?
Yeah.
What he's done. Has he left any marks on your head anyway?
He made me have a headache last night.
We're
going to time. I only said one word to him. And
Yeah.
he stopped.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What?
We're going.
Yes,
Make
love,
a bed as soon as
yes.
possible.
All right. Or are you going to little?
What's your wrist like?
It's not me out wrist. It's here.
It's just there, swollen. Yeah. You don't think it's not broken or anything?
I don't think
no,
so.
No. You see what you can do in effect, if you think justified, you can make an official complaint to the police of a case of assault.
Yes.
But if you like, I'll deal with him for the time being. Get out! When I say get out, you get out! When I said come downstairs, I meant come down.
He never told me that, John.
I said come downstairs.
I heard him tell you.
I never heard him. I was just getting up.
What have I told you about your behaviour here before? Hey?
It's just a bit...
Who gave you the right to clap your auntie over the head with an umbrella?
I never touched you.
Oh, yes, I can see the marks. And who's done a wrist?
I never touched your wrist.
And you were swearing, using four-letter words at her, weren't you?
I weren't.
Oh, yes, you were. They're all telling lies. What about the complaint from the people next door? Why were they knocking on the wall?
Well, I weren't told that by my dad and my mum.
I've been told that. That's why I'm here. Now, it's a bit of a devil when the neighbours have to call me in, isn't it? Because of your behaviour. Now, get yourself dressed and come downstairs. Now. Don't put it on, George. Don't put it on. Get your drink. Have you had it? Well, come on, in here. There's nothing wrong with your stomach. Come on. In there. In there. Now then. You deny. Look at me. Look at me. Georgie. Look at me. You deny hitting your auntie with that umbrella?
I never touched you with the
Oh,
umbrella.
yes, you did. Everybody says you did.
She tells lies.
Everybody tells lies here except George, is that it?
She tells like
What about the other ones?
Like a fella does, her
What
fella.
about the... What about the other ones? Are they all lying as well?
Yes, they are. I haven't even
all
touched
except
her.
George.
I haven't even put a finger on her.
What's it? No, you didn't. You put an umbrella on her. That's what you put on her, isn't it?
I never
Oh,
touched
yes,
her.
you did. And what about the hand? Was it the umbrella that did your hand as well? Was it the umbrella that did your hand?
No, he
Twisted it. He's telling lies about that as well.
It's not true.
You didn't twist her hand either.
It's not true.
Oh, dear. Look.
Even that fella doesn't like who he's going with
I'm
now.
not interested in that. I'm interested
Because
in...
he's told me what she's like.
I'm interested in you. I don't want to see you down there locked up. You don't want to be locked up, do you? Hmm? So the thing is, keep your hands to yourself here. Now, answer me. Do you want locking up for assault? Hmm?
I don't know and I'm not bothered.
You're not bothered?
No, I don't know.
Do you want to try it, eh? Do you want to try it?
And if I did try, somebody will miss me. And that's not from this house.
Would it not?
No, it's not.
They would miss you from this house, I know that.
Somebody will miss me from somewhere else.
They'd miss you here as well.
Even Mrs. Odin will miss me. Even
Anyway.
that girl called Christine Jolly, she'll miss me.
Yeah. Anyway, look, George, lay off, all right? What I told you once before.
Even Mrs. Odin knows.
Listen.
Even Mrs. Odin knows what our Christian's like. Even she's told you what she's like.
Yeah. Listen, what I said before and what you should have done last night.
I did walk out.
Is walk out and quiet knock and forget about it. Because an argument as to whether a baby goes home yesterday or when it's going home today isn't worth all this trouble, is it really? Is it? Hmm? No, it's not. Right, so you lay off. All right. Don't, when we've gone, try it again. Because if I have to come back, I can't leave you. Right? Understood? Right.
Your mother has left you that.
Does she think he deserves it? After all this? What's that for? Spending money?
Yes,
for
sir.
Get his dinner? Oh, love, hope it quietens him off a bit. Because he can please himself here just as he wants, see? Like his stepdad daren't do what I've done, you know, this morning. Well, this is the problem. He's the biggest one here. He knows he's got the weight, and he's using it and taking advantage of it. And he wants to be in a position where he can please himself, you know, say things to you he shouldn't say, because he knows nobody can check him. So I brought him down a peg or two today, which is what's wanted. I don't like doing it this way, but it's what's wanted at the moment. I prefer to do it other ways, actually. Anyway.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the earth give its voice. Praise the Lord, let the people rejoice.
After many more rows with Auntie Mary, George tried leaving home and living on his own. He sold the Blackburn Chronicle outside the railway station, but was frequently drunk and couldn't pay the rent. George ended up at a Salvation Army hostel, where he was saved by Ian and Lynn McDougall. He now lives with them in their house, but attends Salvation Army services once a week.
So do you like it here?
I do, yeah. Nice and quiet and peaceful.
No fighting here, is
No,
there?
there's no fighting here, no.
So what do you like doing here?
I like watching television. I like helping out. I like helping out with Ian and Lynn cleaning up.
You're good at peeling potatoes, aren't you,
Peeling
George?
potatoes.
So how do you think of Ian and Lynn?
They're like my mother and father.
That's nice.
And I wish they like me, and I wish he was my mum. And I wish Ian was my dad. But they're not.
But you still see your mum, don't you?
Yeah.
You see your mum and you
I
got
see her every Sunday at Thalmy.
So what do you like about Abel House? What did you enjoy last year? What did we do last year that you really enjoyed?
I like going to Blackpool on my holiday like I did last year.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah. In June. I don't know we're going this year, I don't know.
So is George still officially under care at the moment?
No, it doesn't have a social worker now. No. No one comes to visit you, do they?
No.
There used to be a CPN, community psychiatric nurse, who used to visit, but I don't think we've seen them for over a year now, have we, George?
No.
Because George has been so well. Heather?
Evan, yeah, that's right.
Can you remember?
And Alan. Is he called Alan?
Steve.
Steve, yeah.
Steve Game.
Steve Game.
That's right.
What were you seeing him about?
Oh, they thought I was raping girls and I weren't.
No, you wasn't, was you, George?
No, I wasn't.
So where did that idea come from?
I don't know.
You had a thing that the radiators, if there were a radiator in the room, that the voices were coming from the wasn't that one of the things that used to bother you?
Yeah. The fan in the smoke room.
And the fan in the smoke room, you used to think that the voices came from there, didn't you? And where else did the voices come? But you don't hear the voices now, do you not?
No.
Well, I'm saying you don't. You tell me if you did.
I'll tell you if I did, yeah.
So what kind of voices were they, George?
There were kind of voices to say, do this, do that, have sex and this and that.
What kinds of things did they tell you to do?
Go out drinking for one.
You used to do that, didn't you?
And go and see if I can get a girl.
You want a girlfriend, don't you, George?
Yeah, but never can get one because no one will have me.
Oh, George, that's not fair. You meet some nice people at college, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Maybe one day, when Mrs. Wright comes along. Don't put yourself down, George.
Oh, hello, is that George Ray?
Yes, speaking.
George Ray, this is Nick Broomfield.
Yes, yeah.
Do you remember me?
Yeah, I do remember, yeah. Yeah, I know you're in Blackburn. I've been around Blackburn.
Well, we came up to Blackburn because we were doing a sort of follow-up on the film and trying to talk to various people who've been in the film.
Yeah.
And one of the things we very much wanted to do, if possible, would be to talk to you. I know it all seemed, it all happened an awfully long time ago. And, I mean, in a sense, one of the difficult things about making these films is one never really quite knows what's going to happen to the people who are in them when they're finished. And we've both, Joan and I, have thought about you. And if possible, we'd like to come and see you.
Yeah, it was quite a controversial film in the first place, wasn't it? For the way it was edited and so on.
I mean, did you feel that the editing in the film was unfair?
Yeah.
What you felt it didn't...
Yeah, there were all things that, the best side of the work wasn't shown at all. It made me look like an ogre most of the time. None of the pleasant side was shown, like the hostel and things like that we do. The talks to school children, the toys and shoes I kept in the office, clothing, all sorts of things like that weren't shown. It was most unbalanced. I can remember an example Well, you know, I pulled somebody out of bed.
George
George
Humphreys.
His father had heart trouble. Well, his stepfather had heart trouble. He's a little man, and George was much bigger than him. And stepfather was frightened to death of him when he rang and said, would you come and get him out of bed? So I came up and got him out of bed. But afterwards, we were talking about it, you and I, down in the office, and I said I felt sorry for George, you know, and the circumstances he found himself, a poor background and so on. Not much support from the no support from the stepfather, large family. And then eventually I would get to know him, and we would take him on the holiday up to the Lake District. But of course that was cut out. It was just shown the first part, me dragging him out of bed.
I mean, maybe, you know, part of it is possibly that, you know, the other police were looking for a bit of a scapegoat and jumped on you as well, rather than dealing with the fact that, you know, this is the kind of thing that goes on, and it is, you know, we weren't really distorting things. I think it's possible that they sort of were looking for someone to blame it onto.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get involved again anyway. In no way.
We wrote to the Chief Constable requesting a copy of the internal police inquiry and received the reply that it was protected by public interest immunity and was unavailable. We discovered that Sergeant Ray was officially cleared by the internal police inquiry. He later resigned as a matter of principle following disagreement with his superiors over their detention, arrest and investigative procedures. By officially clearing Sergeant Ray, the police had cleared the juvenile liaison scheme. And by clearing the scheme, they had ended all chance of debate or change. The Juvenile Liaison Scheme still operates today, only now it's referred to as the Juvenile Bureau. Do you have any dreams about what you want to do?
I do dream, I do talk in my sleep.
So it's you, is it?
Have you heard me? Have you heard me?
I can hear someone. So what do you want to do? If you could do anything in the world, what would you do? Or where would you go?
Well, where will I go if I get kicked out of here or anything happen here?
Now, why should you
Wait
get,
a minute,
why should you
wait a
get
minute.
kicked out of
If
here?
I get kicked out of here or anything happen here, I would like to live on my own, try and start with a fresh job again. See if I can cope on my own again.
Hopefully that'll be able to happen one day, won't
Yeah.
it? When you get more confidence in
More-
yourself.
If I get more confident in myself.
Confident, that's right.
Did you ever think of getting married, or were you put off?
I don't think I've been put off married life full stop. It's just that I can't be bothered. I'm too idle to go look for a fella.
Can't take pension by the time she gets round to it.
It's plenty of time. Like I said, I'm too independent. If a fella come into my life now, it will be a case of what's mine is mine, and if you want any part of it, you'll work your way in. You know, you're not going to get in that easy. I'm too tight for that. Too independent.
Do you have any dreams for the future, Glenn? Things you want to do?
Yeah. Be a manager at work, Safeway. And go and live in America. Well, it's not going to be a dream anyway. It's not a dream. It's reality.
Why America?
Razzmatazz and whatnot. Razzmatazz, American football. Challenge, like it were going down London.
Yeah, I want to win pools, but it never happens, does it? No, I'm all right. I've got plenty of money at the moment. Yeah, I'm buying a house. Plenty of money, buying a house, and looking good. Nothing wrong with that. Enjoying myself.
What kinds of things do you like doing?
I like going to getting stoned out my head. Well, you're asking me, aren't you? Like getting stoned out my head, getting drunk, spending loads of money, and having a good time because you only live once, so make it good the first time.
Dreams, I have dreams like everyone, but none of them will come true. I'm a loser. I know that for a fact. I've plenty of dreams like the next one, but none of them will come true, so I have no ambition on that lines. None at all. Really. I'm a loser, and that's where I'll go down, down, down. I know that for a fact.
So couldn't you?
I've got dreams, as I said, but dreams never come true.
But you've got control over yourself.
I haven't. I know I haven't.
That you could have.
7 years ago, yeah. Not now.
What's changed?
Well, just me. Drugs, drink. My brain's shell shocked. Nothing in it. Nothing at all. Too late for me.